All right, team, let's dive in. We're here today to talk about a really fundamental shift in our sales strategy. It's about moving beyond that one-off deal and really positioning our flagship solution, the Flex Plan, as the transformational partnership that our clients are actually looking for. It's time to elevate the entire conversation.
And it really all starts with listening, right? With understanding what we're hearing from the most forward-thinking HR leaders out there. You see, their problem isn't just about filling one empty box on an org chart. No, it's about building a resilient, future-ready HR function. And that's a much bigger, much more strategic challenge.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll unpack this new reality for HR. Then we'll really define the core problem that we solve. After that, we'll get into our powerful solution, clarify the choice between our plans, and then wrap it all up with a simple playbook you can use on your very next call.
Okay, let's start with the big picture. The new reality our clients are living in every single day. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some passing trend. It's a fundamental change in how the best companies operate.
The whole conversation has shifted. Clients aren't just looking to buy a training anymore. They're being tasked by their leadership to create an environment of continuous growth. A culture of learning isn't a nice-to-have, it's the new standard for attracting and keeping top talent. And that creates a massive opportunity for us.
And this new reality creates something we call the development gap. This is so key. It's not just about one person lacking one skill. It's the complete absence of a dedicated home for HR growth, a single place where the entire team can develop all the time. This is the real underlying problem we need to be solving.
And failing to solve this development gap, it has some really serious consequences. The cost of just doing nothing is steep. And honestly, it's our job to help our clients see that clearly.
So what happens when companies try to solve this problem, but they use the wrong tools? We've all seen these wrong turns, haven't we? They just lead to frustration, totally wasted budgets, and a team that falls even further behind.
This really breaks down the two most common mistakes. On one side, you've got these generic, one-size-fits-all platforms that just aren't built for HR, and engagement just plummets. Then, on the other side, you have the option of doing nothing, which, frankly, is even worse. You lose your best people, morale tanks, and pretty soon the HR team just can't keep up with what the business needs. Either way, both paths lead to failure.
Okay, think of this slide as your cheat sheet, your green flags. When you hear these exact phrases, it is a huge signal for the Flex Plan. These aren't just casual comments, they're direct buying signals. The client is literally telling you they have a platform problem, not a product problem. They're asking for the exact solution that Flex provides.
And that brings us perfectly to our strategic solution. This is where we stop talking so much about the problem and we start painting a really clear vision of the future. This is the power of the Flex Plan.
This right here is the single most important positioning statement you can use. Flex is not a course, it's not just a bundle of courses. It is the one-stop shop, the dedicated home for all things HR development. When you position it this way, you completely change the nature of the conversation. You move it from a simple transaction to a real strategic partnership.
Just consider the value here. With access to over 13 certification programs, a single team member can become a certified people analytics specialist, then pivot to master digital HR, and then become an expert in compensation and benefits, all within 1 year on one single platform. That's incredible.
And it's so much more than just the certifications. If a client ever worries that the whole library might be a distraction, you reframe it immediately. It's not a distraction, it's a just-in-time resource hub. In between their bigger programs, their team can use the AI assistant for an urgent question, they can grab a template to avoid starting from scratch, or they can take a quick mini course to solve a problem that just popped up that afternoon.
And for your larger clients, the value just becomes undeniable. Any team of 15 or more gets a dedicated learning consultant. And this isn't just a support contact. This is a strategic partner who literally builds a deployment plan with them to make sure they get maximum ROI. This is a massive differentiator for us.
So this brings us to a really crucial point. How do we position Flex against our core plan? Because when you get this right, you can guide the client to the best possible solution, protect your Flex pipeline, and ultimately increase your deal size.
This is your new secret weapon. It makes the choice crystal clear. Core is like a surgical strike, one program for one specific known skill gap. It's transactional. Flex, on the other hand, is for continuous development across the whole team. It's the entire library, it comes with that dedicated partner for larger teams, and it's built for a long-term strategic relationship.
And don't forget this part. Our pricing is intentionally designed to make Flex the smarter financial choice. When a client has multiple needs or they're committed to long-term growth, investing in the platform simply provides a far better return on their investment than buying a bunch of individual programs over time. We've built it this way for a reason.
Okay, let's put it all together now. This is your actionable playbook. These are the exact steps to take to put this entire strategy into practice.
The playbook is super simple. 1. Always position Flex as the gold standard. 2. Educate the client on all the value drivers we've covered, way beyond just the certificates. And 3. Guide them. Help them figure out the best place to start, whether that's tackling one big team-wide skill gap or empowering individuals to choose their own learning paths.
So, I'll just leave you with this final question to think about. Because when you lead with the Flex plan, you're not just selling a product anymore. You're starting a conversation about a long-term partnership. You're positioning yourself as a strategic advisor who can help them build the future of their HR organization. Now go out there and build those partnerships.